us how to multiply and divide by 10, 100 and 1000. First we're multiplying 32 times 10. We've put our 32 on the page, and the first thing we need to do is put the numbers in columns. I know the number on the right hand side is always going to be units, so I shall put the units column on. And the number on the left hand side, so the units, is always going to be tens, so I shall put the tens on. Now if we're multiplying, we know that the number is going to get bigger, so we move to the left, so we move each number this way. We also know that for every 0 we need to move the number once, twice or 3 times depending on how many zeros. As we're multiplying by 10 here, we've only got the 1 0, so we need to move each number left, but by the once, because there's only the 1 0. So here goes. 2 we're going to bring down, and then we're going to move once to the left, so the 2 shall go here. Next, the 3 we're going to bring down, and once to the left, so the 3 shall go here. Now the last step is we need to put in the placeholder zeros in the gap here, as so. The answer now to 32 times by 10 is 320. Now I'm going to multiply 479 by 100. The only thing that changes here is that because 100 has 2 zeros, I want to move each number twice to the left, and I'm moving it to the left because I'm multiplying, and if I'm multiplying, the number's going to get bigger. The first thing I'm going to do is put this number here into columns. So I should put my columns in. The one on the right next to the decimal is always going to be a units. This next number is going to be a tens, and this next number is going to be a 100. Now we are moving each of these numbers to the left, and we're moving to the left twice because we have 2 zeros in 100. So here goes. 9 will bring down, and once, twice to the left. So the 9 will go there. The 7 will bring down, and then count once, twice to the left, and put the 7 there. And then the 4 will bring down, and go once, twice to the left, and the 4 will go there. Now we have 2 spaces here and here. And what we need to do is a 6th step, put in placeholder zeros. So I shall put in placeholder zeros. So the answer is 479 times 100 equals 47,900. Now, for 645.42 times 1,000, it looks very tough. Really, it's just as simple. The only thing we need to remember is we have a decimal here, so the columns are going to change. Also, we're going to have to bring the decimal down. That's the only thing we need to remember differently. Now, as we're multiplying, we're still going to move the numbers to the left because they're going to get bigger, and this we're timesing by 1,000, and 1,000 has 3 zeros, so we're going to move the numbers 3 times to the left. So let's get started. First we're going to put the columns on. Now I know next to the decimal to the left is always going to be the units column, so I'll put my units in there. Then I'll put my tens column, and then I'll put my hundreds column. And I put my decimal back in, and I know the number to the right of the decimal is always going to be a 10th, so I'll put a small t, a lowercase t in there, and the number to the right of a 10th is going to be a 100th, a small h again, a lowercase h there. Now, exactly the same as I did before, I'm going to move each of these numbers starting with the right hand side down and then left, but this time 3 times because I have 3 zeros in 1,000. To start off, 2 we bring down, count 1, we miss the decimal, 2 and 3, so the 2 goes there. Next, the 4 we bring down, we're going to miss the decimal, 1, 2, 3, so the 4 is going to go there. Next, we've got the 5, bring it down, We don't need to miss the decimal this time, so we'll just count left 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So the 5 goes there. And you know what? I can just put the rest in knowing what I can see on the rest of the columns. Now, the 6th step, we need to put in our placeholder zeros. We have gaps here, here, and here that need placeholder zeros. So I shall put those in. And the last step, now we've got a decimal, this is really important. We need to bring the decimal down if we need. Well, here we do need, so just below there, I'm going to put the decimal in. So my answer is 645,420.00. Now, we're going to do 792 divided by 10. This one, very much the same as multiplying, but we move each of the numbers to the right because they're going to get smaller. Again, the zeros matter in the number. Here it's a 10, so we're only going to move it once to the right. But also we're going to need to have our decimal in first, because our decimal is going to be incredibly important here. So here we go. Start off, I'm going to put 792 into columns. I know the number here because it's next to nothing, no decimal there, that's going to be a units. The number on the right will be the units. The number next will be the tens, and the number next to that will be the hundreds. Now I know to the right of the units column, we're always going to have a decimal. So I'm going to jump straight to step 6, and I'm going to put the decimal in after the units column because I know I'm going to need that now. So I put my decimal in, and to the right of the decimal, I'm going to have the tenth, and I'm going to put in the hundredths as well. Tenth, lowercase t, hundredths, lowercase h. Now, I'm going to move each of these numbers, because I'm dividing, to the right, because they're going to get smaller. And because 10 only has 1 0, I'm going to move each number once. So, start off with a number on the right hand side first. 2, I'm going to bring down. I'm going to skip the decimal. 1, the 2 goes there. Next, the 9, I'm going to bring down. I'm going to move once to the right, there. And the same with the 7. Now, last thing, says down here that I need to put my decimal in after the units column if I need, and I need to put in the placeholder zeros. Well, I don't really need any placeholder zeros here, but I do need a decimal down this column. So I'm going to put my decimal points in now. The answer then to 792 divided by 10 is 79.2. This one here might look more complex because we're dividing a decimal, but actually it's just as simple, even simpler, because the decimal's already in there, so we've actually taken a step out. We are dividing, so the numbers are moving to the right. We're dividing by 100, and as there are 2 zeros in 100, we're going to move each number twice. So, first things first, put my number into columns. So I know the decimals here, the number to the left of a decimal is always going to be the units. I shall fill those in. Units, tens, hundreds. Put my decimal in, and I know the number to the right of a decimal is always going to be the tenth. So put my tenth in there, lowercase, and hundredth in there, lowercase h. Now, I'm going to move each number to the right, because I'm dividing, and I'm going to move it to the right twice. So I shall start off here with the 6. I'll bring it down, and then count 1, 2. The 6 will go there. Next, 3. Bring it down, 1, 2, 3 will go there. Next, the 7. Bring it down, skip the decimal point, 1, 2, the 7 goes there. Next, we've got the 4, bring it down, 1, skip the decimal point, 2. Next is the 8, bring it down, 1, 2, 8 there. Now, the only thing we need to do here, as it says there, number 6, put in decimals after the units column if needed. Well, we do need here. So I put the decimal point in, as so. The answer to this question, 847.36 divided by 100 is 8.4736. Now the last one. This one looks tough because we're dividing by 1,000. All we need to know though is that we need to move the number 3 times because there are 3 zeros. Also because it's divide, we're moving to the right. We also need to put a decimal point in. Other than that, it's just as simple as the rest. So start off, 1, put the columns in. Put units and tens. Next, we're going to put our decimal point in. Always comes after the units. Then I'm going to put my tenths in, my hundredths in, and now I might as well put in the thousands because I know I'm going to move 3 times to the right. Now, I'm going to bring each number down. I'm going to move it 3 times. So the 2, bring down, and count over the decimal, 1, 2, 3. The 2 is going to go in there. Next, I'm going to bring the 4 down. I'm going to count 3 times to the right, missing the decimal, 1, 2, 3. The 4 goes in there. Now, if I have a look on my instructions, I need to put in a decimal after the units column if I need, what I do need here, and then afterwards I need to put in placeholder zeros because I've got lots of zeros that I need to put in. So I shall do that. First, the decimal in the units column is going to go directly underneath the rest of the decimals. Next, these spaces need placeholder zeros. So the answer to 42 divided by 1,000 is 0.042. Thank you for watching.